tomorrow our wood stove gets installed. So we are really excited about that. This is a Vermont Castings Defiant, and it's going to come forward 3 inches, and then the pipe's going to get installed right between those trusses. So I had the store, which for us was the hometown store, come out and double check our clearances. And I was right. We need to come forward another 3 inches, and that'll give us plenty of space up in there. So this box is a support box. It'll go between those trusses, and then up inside that box is where we will transition from this single wall pipe to this double wall Class A insulated pipe. And that is what will go up through the attic and through the roof and up high enough to satisfy clearances from the peak of your roof. So these are all things that are really important to adhere to for fire danger, which is why I had them come out and double check that my math was right. And it is absolutely perfect. So I'm super excited not to have a bend in our stovepipe. I was a little worried about that, but it's going to look really nice. It's just going to go straight up through the roof there. It's a lot easier to clean when they go straight up and they don't have any bends. You can see we already have our brush for cleaning. And this pipe, actually, you're like, wait a second, that's not new. And it's not. We were able to do a work trade with our contractor, actually. He was taking a wood stove out of one of his structures, and this type of pipe is extremely expensive if you get it new. It's like currently $450 for a 2 to 3 foot length of it. It's crazy, and you need a lot of it to go all the way up through the roof as high as you need to, like I said. So really, really happy that we got that. There are more pieces of it outside that I'll show you as well. Here's the rest of the Class A double wall roofing that we got. We are getting a new jack to go around the chimney with that flashing, just because it's better to go with new there, especially when it's bent up kind of like that. You don't want water getting underneath that. So those pieces will be new, but we have our chimney cap, and we have enough of this pipe to get the job done. The roofers were actually the ones to do the installation of the chimney and connection of the chimney to the stove. Our roof was going on at the same time as this installation happened. And our wood stove is in place. Chimney goes straight up through the roof with all the appropriate clearances, front and back. I'm very excited about this. It's been a long time coming. It's been probably 6 months since I finished the hearth and we got the wood stove. But now that our roof's being put on, it's finally time to put it through.
Even me, I'm the star of these videos, you know, everyone.
Pretty much. But I'm thinking it's looking really, really nice. We have a couple more heat shields to put on the stove, and we've got a warming shelf to put on each side of it, and it's going to be really good. We've got a griddle, do some cooking. What do you think, Clara? You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah? Looks nice on the hearth Mama built, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with my beautiful dress.
Yes, especially with your beautiful dress. We're getting there, huh?
Yeah.
Want to thank everyone for watching?
Thank you everyone for watching. Would you like to tell us if you liked that video or not?
Yes, let us know in the comments.
So Erica is wiping down the stovepipe before our first initial burn. Apparently, if you don't wipe it down, the fingerprints that were on the pipe when the pipe was installed will be permanently burnt on there. And you'll get to see them all the time. I guess if you wanted to frame somebody, that's a good way to do it. Left their prints.
So it's just an all-purpose cleaner that I'm using. It's a simple green brand.
Windex works
Windex
just
works.
fine.
I don't have Windex. This is what I
Yep,
have.
we don't have it with us. We had a lot going on today.
Yeah.
We were not thinking about that. We should have done this morning. It is now currently, I don't know, close to 5. But we got a nice drafty house with nice big windows. So we're gonna camp up here tonight, basically, and just put enough fire in there to enjoy it.
And break it in. That's
Break
the
it in.
important
It is a
part.
break-in. Something about the first break-in you do with lots of ventilation, I guess, because it'll stink.
Well, not only that, but you break it in at a low temperature. Otherwise, you might warp the cast iron. You want to make sure that you're tempering the cast iron to handle high heat.
Yeah, we don't want to warp no cast iron.
Yeah.
This stove was pricey enough.
Yeah. Yes, it is. We kind of threw caution to the wind with the budget on this one. And by we, I mean William. But I love it.
She didn't like my idea of the old
Grandpa Bear, wasn't it? Or no, it was a baby bear you wanted to.
well, I have a baby bear from when I was a kid, from the house we lived in then. Apparently those are only good up to 1,200 square foot. We got 2,000. I did pick up, I don't know, it was another, God, I can't even think of that brand right now.
I know. Baby bear, grandpa bear. It's that brand.
Mama bear. I have one
Everybody knows that.
down next to where my shop is, but of course we're both pulling brain farts right now. It's been a busy Saturday.
Right.
I split kindling. It's all right here. Maybe I'll go split some more. I don't know.
We're gonna use it
There's-
not today, but another day for
There's
sure.
a little bit of firewood.
Now
It all came out of my pile. That's right there. That I still got to split a bunch of rounds out of. Look, Erica even stacked some up. That all needs to be split down a little bit smaller. Bunch of oak and madrone. All of that is from where the house is currently standing. Mama wants to talk about everything.
Here we
What do you got,
go.
Clara?
First fire. Clara, look.
What?
Come
Mama
look.
wants to talk about everything.
Fire.
A fire. First fire. Daddy not using the handle. Look at how pretty that is. Mmm. What do you think? You probably can't feel it much yet, huh?
But the fire is big.
Yeah. Daddy did a good job on the kindling.
I'm gonna wait.
Oh, look at that. So this is a Vermont Castings Defiant stove. And it has a top load feature through the griddle that you can also cook on.
Defiant.
It also has a front load feature, which you just saw when William had the doors open. The handle there is stored on the right. So every time you want to open those doors, you got to take that off. And then, you know, William and I did not grow up with stoves that were this complicated. Our jury, honey, wait a sec. Our jury on this is still out a little bit.
Back up to my chair.
We think,
Here, you'll see that it's reflecting on the floor.
yeah, we saw that. We think that this is potentially more complicated than it needs to be, but you know, if it heats our house with high ceilings efficiently and comfortably, then we'll be pretty happy, especially if I can cook on it. I'm super stoked about that. It's difficult to see, but if you look closely, you can see the heat coming out of our chimney. It is the next morning, and the stove went all night with coals in it. We are not insulated yet, so it did keep it a little bit warmer in the house than it was outside, but we were not exactly toasty, but that's not the fault of the stove at this time. I want to show you, though, a couple things I've got going. One of them is actually just a pot of water that I put on the stove last night and refilled this morning. Wood stoves dry out the air a lot. I noticed, actually, I could see it when I was brushing Clara's hair last night. She looked a little like a mad scientist because the air was so dry. So that is meant to put water vapor, as you can see there, the steam, back into the air. Helps keep things a little more comfortable. Your lips won't get as chapped, your skin won't get as dry, etc. And then this is my very first breakfast on the new stove. William and Clara had to go run an errand early today, so I'm here by myself making my oatmeal on the stove. We are going to get some trivets to go underneath, especially pans like that. I wouldn't want to put that directly on the wood stove for a long time. The pot on the left is cast iron, so that one's probably okay, but trivet is good for evening out the heat and making sure you get a little more even regulated burn under your food. But definitely want a trivet for that one. But it's fine for one time. It's not going to hurt anything. And I'm really excited. Sitting in front of my wood stove. You can see my reflection there. I'm in my jammies. Got my oatmeal that just came off the stove. It's pretty darn tasty. And I have my hotspot set up so that I can do some work. The wind is blowing outside, but it's a beautiful day. And I'm really happy.